I have a question about Shavuot. I don't know if you have to leave. Anybody else can ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does it have Kabbalistic origins? Staying up all night to
Yes,
read the
it
Torah?
does. Yes, it does. It's called Tikkun Leil Shavuos. Tikkun Leil Shavuos. It was invented in the Zohar, not for the reasons that you may think. I mean, there's a medrash for that teaches that the day before the Jews were about to be given the Torah, they overslept. And this is in some way like a tikkun for that, something we do to repair that. Practice is known as
Is it possible that it's more ancient than that?
no, no. I mean, it was made popular by the Arizal, but it first appears in the Zohar, and it's no. I mean, it's a book that you buy. Like, as a matter of fact, last year I was sitting right next to Yaron Reuven. You know, he's my neighbor here, like in Hollywood. Tell me, like, why are you here? Like, if you don't believe in the Zohar. And he mentioned this in his class, and he's like, so yeah. So there's a book they read called Tikkun Leil Shavuos. Actually, the breakdown, it actually goes through basically every parsha, as well as Haftarot, other portions of Tanakh, mixed along with large portions of the Zohar. Now, later on, the Shloh included Mishnayos and the Taryag Mitzvahs, Sefer HaMitzvot, basically the enumerations of the commandments. But this is much, much later. As a matter of fact, there are many things that people do nowadays that, at least to us today, make sense. Sure, learning all night, cramming in as much learning as you can, but this is not why it was created. To the point that it's like a major shaila in communities. The big question that the students have to ask their teachers, if they should just do Talmud Torah, if they should just learn Torah, or do Tikkun Leil Shavuos. So fine, many do both. Now mind you, Tikkun Leil Shavuos takes about 3, maybe even 4 hours in some communities. But it's a Tikkun. We know it's Breslov pretty much made this notion of Tikkun popular. It's really the Catholic notion of penitence. Like when the priest tells you, give me 5 Hail Marys and 5 Our Fathers, right? I don't know, the whole notion never really sat well with me. The idea that there's a fix for everything. Now, clearly the Torah lays down that if you hurt someone, if you steal from someone, you repay them, right? So then what's the point of a tikkun in some other manner? Sometimes you just miss the boat. Not that I believe that medrash is true, that Israel overslept. But if that's the case, does this really mean that as a sign of penitence, Israel should in some way continue staying up late 1 day a year, probably in the vast majority of times missing Shacharis, just because everyone else is doing it? I mean, this notion of learning for the sake of learning, I mean, first of all, you're not going to retain anything, whether you're learning at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I did it once in Israel. Like in Israel, in the Old City, it's a big thing, because everyone learns all night, and then in the morning, they have Birkas Kohanim in the Kotel, right? So you see, like, it's like a roll of like hundreds of Kohanim. They're like blessing the people, and it's like a cool sight. The sun's coming up and everything like that. But I don't do that. I mean, one, I'm too tired to stay up. 2, there aren't too many great classes to sit through. I mean, I could listen to classes on MP3, But it was invented in the Zohar. It was made popular by the Arizal, and it's because of a medrash that the Jews overslept pre-Matan Torah, and now this is a tikkun for that. It's like a reparation for that.